And it is time. Now this, to me, this set is a lot about maintaining the status quo versus disrupting it. Because while Celie has been very good historically, I would say over the past year or so, they've been largely absent from tournaments, while Paucia has had a pretty massive streak of dominance. And now, with Raito, the #1 seed out of the tournament, Kiata, the #3 seed out of the tournament, Ember, the #4 seed out of the tournament, Paucia is the only one left that represents the status quo. Are we going to be seeing the same champion we've seen before, or are we going to be crowning a brand new one? This is round 8, isn't it? There we go. Paucia being very intentional with this placement. When you're playing against an intentional builder like Celie, it is important. Take your time, figure out where exactly it is that you want things to go. I like the idea here. Not necessarily forcing the 2-block squeeze, but leaving room for that to be replaced down the line. Whoa, wait a minute. Celie, specifically known for wire crawls and crawling in general, dying to the wire crawl. We could be looking at a point here. Celie makes it through there, but we still have another difficult setup coming up. Celie finds the spacing for it. Not going to be letting Paucia get an advantage this early. Whoa. That's a little bit tricky. This is exactly the type of thing that I was expecting Celie to want to set up. Again, Celie notoriously very good at crawling tech. Paucia's placed the 2-block squeeze, but how is Celie going to go about counter building here? I assume just get rid of it altogether, but Paucia really struggling to find something to fill the void left from that 2-block squeeze. Ooh. Now wait a minute. This could be flipping the advantage on its head. And Paucia makes it through. Celie, only 1 life left. Wait a moment. Paucia's definitely making it through to the finish now. Celie with just 1 more chance. Are they gonna get it? They don't! Paucia with the early lead. Celie is probably the player the most that you want to make sure that they don't get an early lead. If Celie gets an early lead against you, time and time again, we saw Morph manage to make the comeback. But how many other players can we say the same for? Nice building by Paucia. And I really want to highlight this for a second. I really want to highlight that grouping of 3 wires that Paucia placed right below this spike wall after this jump. Because I feel like a lot of people, when they try and counter build, if there's something that they don't like, they'll try and make it easier. They'll try and bomb it. They'll try and do anything to make sure that they don't have to do that setup. But if you read the Holy Scripture of Kiara, you know, you'll come to find that a lot of the time, the best solution when there's something that you don't like isn't to get rid of it, isn't to make it easier, but rather to add something difficult of your own afterwards. Take something that's disadvantageous to you, and in one placement, you create something that favors you easily. And now I would say that these wires do that eloquently for Paucia. Though not enough to make the difference here. Paucia with a lot of potential. What's she gonna do? Celie does not like that arrow. I can't blame them. I can't blame them. I don't know how I feel about that squeeze either. Interesting. One thing that not a lot of players know about setups like these, when you're crouching, there is no acceleration. It's not like the rest of the game where it takes time to reach max speed. If you want to do crouches as optimally as possible, you can actually visually position yourself on the very farthest edge. And then all you need to do is hold left for a frame. Because in that one frame, you will instantly be at max speed. And wow, Celie again, really struggling here. How is this Y jump gonna work? I don't think there's really any risk of falling into that spike pit here, but I could be wrong. It's a tricky movement here, and I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of it, Paucia finds a way to flub. We'll see, though. Paucia, the time is ticking. And there it is. There it is. Makes it past the spike ball. That's likely the last little bit of difficulty. Paucia gonna go up on a 2-0 lead. Whoa. Celie likes to use Ferris wheels to disrupt. And they are an amazing item for it, if I can say. Because you can place them over top of things that already exist. So if you really don't like a setup, if you think it's bad for you, you can just place a Ferris wheel on top of it and pray to God that it works out. As crude as it sounds, it's not the worst strategy. I've seen it work many times. Oh, I see what Celie's going for. Walking over top of the Ferris wheel instead of having to do the jump. Good thinking. Being said, Paucia still has an additional life after this. Celie's on the last. This could be it. This really could be it. I feel like, in a way, Celie made the setup a bit easier. But let's find out. Yeah, it looks to me like this is it. Paucia making a statement. 3-0 over Celie. Incredible play. Wow. And that is it. Celie out at 5th. The status quo, the dream stays alive. I was nervous. I was honestly nervous earlier when I heard that Paucia was eliminated or put to the losers bracket so early. Because I know how good she is. I know what she is capable of. And I think, you know, it would be doing us a disservice if you were all robbed of being able to see just what she's capable of today.